Hello, Booktube, and welcome back. So I'm going to do something a bit fun today. I say fun for me anyway. Is to do like a ranking of all the Baillie Gifford winners. If you don't know what the Baillie Gifford is, it's a non-fiction prize for books that have been published within any given year, and they're usually really good. I do enjoy reading the complete list every year, and I thought to myself, well, just do a bit of what you thought about all of them, because I think they've gone back to 1999. I think it's been going for now nearly 30 years now. So there's just shy of 30 books to talk about. Oh, I've already been given the red alert by my phone. Stop waffling. Go on. Yeah, I'm running out of storage there, so I best go fast. Don't waffle. Don't waffle. Watch me waffle. So let's pop this up now. I've only got 4 brackets, to be honest, and you can slim it down to 3. All this like S, A, B, C, D, E tiers. What does that even mean? So the very top one, the best, is my personal favourite of all of these books. And the one below it is good, books that I'd recommend. But you can blend those two together. It's just my favourite of the good books, in my opinion. The next part down, the yellow one, is something else needed. Books what I thought, missed out a bit, something, not really a meh book, but just missed out on something I thought was really good. And then the last bracket is obviously books I did not like, in my humble opinion. And as you can see, all the books are below. I haven't loaded up all the authors' names, but you can be able to tell it from the Google it from the description I give and the book title. And let's get going. Okie dokie, let's start with the very first one on our left here. This is Helen Garner's collected diaries. This is good. This is this year's winner. So this, if you don't know who Helen Garner is, she is an Australian author, and she basically chronicled her life in a diary from when she first became a published author, all the way up to her marriage dissolving. And it's 3 diaries collected into one. So it's when she became a published author, finding love, and then the marriage breaking down. Her husband was a bit of a rogue, and it's a good. It's a good book. It really is. I mean, I wasn't used to collected diaries. I'm not used to reading diaries, but I thought it was really good. And she's quite funny and witty throughout it as well. So it's a recommend. Next one is question 7, which I think won last year's. Question 7 is a look at how life choices affect what's going on in the future. So I think the whole thing is like around a man struggling to get out, of the river, and he's drowned, and then he's thinking back at the life choices from his dad working in Hiroshima when the bomb dropped, and it's weaving all those narratives into how decisions has led to this point, and love and all that. I never really took to it, to be honest with you, and I think it was just that how it was formatted, because it wasn't linear. It wasn't linear storytelling. It was a blend of stuff which I didn't really gel with. But I think I've been massively unfair to it as well, because I was putting it up against other books I was reading that year, and I really loved the other books that I was reading last year, and I thought that one felt slightly short of some of the other non-fiction books that was out there. But I think I'm going to give that a reread, because I think I was being a bit too harsh to it, to be honest with you. A bit too harsh with it. I didn't think it was a bad book. It's all right, but need a little bit more something for me. The next one I've got there is Super Infinite, which is a really good book. It's like a biography of John Donne, who, jack of all trades. He was a scholar, a poet, a bit of a rogue, a bit of a Jack the Lad. It's a really, really fascinating biography of a fascinating person. It's really, really well done. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the author's names, but hopefully you'll be able to. If that sounds like your thing, you pick it up by the title. So John Donne was I think a guy from the 17th century, around about that time period, and he led a fascinating life, and the author did an amazing job of biographing, chronicling his life. Okie dokie, the next one is Fireweather, which is also a really good book. So this is looking at the firestorms that was happening in Canada at the time, how it completely went insane and engulfed a large area in Canada. It talks about the evacuations of the civilians. It talks about the first aid response. It talks about the government response. It also talks about why it got so bad. This book is really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So that's a thumbs up from me. The next one is Empire of Pain, which is one of my personal favourites. It's a look at the Sackler family, who are they're known for getting painkillers onto the market, and the author's getting across that they're one of the main points of the opiate crisis. Now that's going on in the States right now because of their actions of getting painkillers onto the market and speeding up the scientific approach, money in politicians' hands. It's all that kind of stuff, and it's a really good book. That's a strong recommend from me, especially for the Americans who are watching this. It's a really fascinating kind of biography of family and greed pushing these painkillers onto people, on the doctors over prescribing painkillers. So it's great book. Next one is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also one of my favourite books. This is looking at the Beatles, and it's basically looking at the Beatles from the band period, so it's looking from the late 50s to the early 70s, and then the journey they took and where they went to, who they encountered, stories from outside the Beatles, the people who were heavily involved. This book is deeply researched, and the best part is definitely the author's writing in this. It is so, I don't want to say whimsical, but it's almost whimsical. It's funny, really, really entertaining writing. 1, 2, 3, 4, A Story of the Beatles is probably my favourite winner out of all the Baillie Gifford winners. And okay, I'm from Merseyside, caveat, but I'm not an overly Beatles fan, but that book was fantastic. Next one is Chernobyl, which is a really good book. It's a history book about the Chernobyl incident, talking about the Soviet lies and the cover-ups, the scientists who were involved. A massive amount of research went into this book, and it really reflects that when you're reading it as well. And what could be a kind of, it's a disaster book, am I in the mood for it? It's good. It is good, reflective writing, and you should read it. It's really good. Next one, talking about not a nice topic to read about. This is How to Survive a Plague. This is really good as well. This is about the AIDS virus and the history of the 1980s of the how it came about and how it became so prevalent, and all the people that died from it. It covers a few people at the time as well, what was going on in society, and then government actions on top of that as well, and finally accepting responsibility, and also about the medical establishment overpricing drugs, and then the people who had AIDS had to go to the black market to get cheaper alternatives. So it covers that period, and it's a really good reflective book, but it's deep. But really good, really it's a strong recommend. Next one is Neurotribes. It's another one of my personal favourites. This is such a good book. It's looking at the history of autism, from the early days of it going, oh, you know, just stick this person away, stick them away, you know, because they're not right. That's how it was seen, wasn't it? And then eventually, you know, the science going behind it, the horrible trials, the medical trials that these people had to endure. It's also talked about the rise of Nazism because, you know, eugenics and all that started with killing off people who had autism, stuff like that. And it's a fantastic chronicle in all the history, what we know of autism. It's fantastic. It's a glowing example of non-fiction. It is really, really good. Next one, Nothing to Envy. It's a really good book. This is I think this is Barbara Demick, the same author who was in this year's Baillie Gifford, I think. She wrote The Daughters of the Bamboo Grove, so she knows a lot about, you know, Asia. And this is a look at North Korea, a few people's lives in North Korea, and writing short biographies of them, you know, to star-crossed lovers, to people, to I think a family member who loves Kim Jong-un more than the family, and then obviously some doubters of who want to get out of there too. This book is good. If you're interested in that kind of totalitarianism books, read this. It's really, really fascinating. Next one, Life in the Emerald City. Oh, that's tough. It's either going to go in one of them two. Oh, you know what? I'll put it there because it's good. So this is the Emerald City is referring to the American presence in Iraq. They built like a fortress, and within the fortress it was like Americana basically. So you had Coca-Cola, everything you expect in the West, right? But the surrounding area obviously completely deprived. It's basically it's a us and them history, and it really is a good look. And then obviously the massive danger that posed in and of itself, and it's a good reflection of the American presence in Iraq as well. And it's good. It's good military, well, not really military history. Well, it can be history book, right? So it is a good book. Next one is Like a Fiery Elephant. So it's going to be every single book is going to be a recommend. This is Like a Fiery Elephant is a biography of B.S. Johnson. He was a famous British author in the 60s and 70s. He was a person who really wanted to push literature to the absolute boundaries, to the point where he was cutting up his books and stuff like that and wanted to get it published. So he was really on the forefront of doing that. And although in other areas in his life he was quite conservative and he was a bit of an alcoholic too, unfortunately he committed suicide. So he had his demons. So this author is basically chronicling his not really much his childhood, but it's definitely his writing period. It is a really good look at a fascinating kind of like stoic man. He's proper in your face kind of a guy, you know. But yeah, it's a really good book. It's a really good biography. What am I going to do with this one? So the next one is The Third Reich: A New History. That's got to be up there. I think this is one of the earlier winners of the Baillie Gifford. It's massive. It's a chunker of a book, and the caveat I will add to this book, even though I'll put it on my personal best, do not jump into this book if you've not read anything on World War II or Nazism at all. You do need that background first before you jump into this book. It's very, very deep. And yeah, this is a fascinating look of the build up to Nazism in Europe and how, you know, the Nazis basically took advantage of what was going on, and then, you know, how the Nazis became the Nazis and how the Germans became like a totalitarian regime, a murderous regime. It's a really, really, really good book. If you're interested, I know a little bit on your World War II history, pick up this book. It is really, really good. Next one is Baillie. It's another recommend. I think it's just the second because I've not read the first one either. It's a two-part biography, and I've only read the second one. So this is chronicling his later life, and Baillie is a composer, if you didn't know. So this is chronicling his life of when he was going to city in Europe, and basically trying to find work and make a good living, and finding love and all that. And it's a really good biography of a composer. I think that's the only kind of biography I've read of, if you want to call him a musician. Definitely a composer, and it's a really good look. It is well written. The next one, the 5 women, the untold story of women killed by Jack the Ripper. Missed out. So obviously no one knows who Jack the Ripper was, but this book is not really about Jack the Ripper. It's about the 5 victims that we know of who Jack the Ripper killed. And I think this book a little bit missed the mark because there's a lot of assumptions being made in it as well. There's a lot of this was going on in society, so maybe these and then applying it to these 5 women. But the author's also trying to saying, some of them were prostitutes, but some of them, there's no evidence of prostitution. And so basically trying to give them a better life, these victims of a serial killer. But it just missed the mark for me. But if that sounds like it's up your street, go and grab it, because, all these books that have won the Baillie Gifford, someone loves them, right? And they probably love them for a reason. But that one just missed it. Next one is Stalingrad. Yeah. I think this is the first winner of the Baillie Gifford. So we're talking 1999 here. And this is basically a history of a small part of World War II. This is one of the major battles in World War II. The defense of Stalingrad by the Russians against the Nazis. And it talks the chronicle on the whole, near occupation, the starvation of the citizens, the complete, don't care how many people we're going to kill, and then the eventual collapse of the Eastern Front, and then the Soviets pushing the Nazis back. Really good book, fascinating. If you're into World War II again, pick it up. The next one, H is for Hawk. Yeah, I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to put it there for. It's a good, well-written book. Don't get me wrong. It's a nature book. The only problem is the premise itself. I don't like taking wild animals because the author's lost a father, and she's also into falconry as well. It's all over. And then she goes obsessive with training this hawk, right? But I just don't like that. Taking a wild animal to help you grieve. That's basically the premise of this book, right? But if that sounds up your street, go at it, because it is a well-written book. It's only short as well. It's only 200 pages, but yeah, it is right. It's all right. Oh, the next one's the Pike. Oh, where am I going to put this? Oh, I don't know. It's floating between one of them two. No, I'll stick it down here. Oh, by the way, I'm not sticking these in any particular order. They're just recommendations. So the Pike is about Ananzio. What's his name? Gabriel D'Annunzio, who was he was born in Croatia, but he was a fascist, but he was an artist too. So it's all about his rise and how he affected, the society at large at that time, and then it also reflects on how Mussolini, took advantage of that and became the first fascist dictator of Europe. Fascinating look at this guy who was a complete lunatic, but was a very artistic, creative guy, but an extreme fascist. And it's a really good biography of him. Next one is Into the Silence. So this is looking at Mallory and the climb of Mount Everest. I really enjoyed this book. Oh, does it belong in the top 4 there, though? Let me think. Oh, let's stick it here. Yeah, so this is basically chronicling, I keep on saying that word, Edmund Hillary's, how they climb Everest, the first people to climb Everest, negating, how many people died and all that, and it's also talking about how World War One affected this and the push and the drive to do something patriotic and stuff like that. Really fascinating look at the Everest climb. My phone's giving me like, woo, 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 you're running out of data. Hopefully this won't cut off, but it does. Next one is Stasiland. Good book. This is looking at the East and West Germany divide and the peoples, of that, and how they jumped the wall, the relationships, how it, the Berlin Wall affect that, all the relationships within the Eastern Bloc. It's really well done. I think that's Anna Founder, I think the author's name is, and I think she wrote a book about George Orwell's wife as well. Alex, you're going off topic. Stop it. But Stasiland is a really good look between East and West Germany, and it really focuses on East Germany mostly, and the haves and the have-nots. Good. Next one is Pushkin. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Pushkin, was a Russian poet, very famous, world-renowned Russian poet who was ostracized from Russia for his political writings, and his writings are good, and he was known as a bit of a lover, but boy, oh boy, this book was incredibly dense. I had to go at it with a hammer and a chisel. Luckily I'm a Kindle reader, so I was highlighting every third word, going, "What does that mean?" Unfortunately, that was because it was so unbelievably dense. This is definitely not for like a person who just wants to know just a basic biography of a poet, especially Pushkin, because he does sound like a proper character, and I do like some of his works. But this biography, it nearly killed me off. It really did. Yeah, you could use this book to mortar your house. It is with one of the bricks. It's proper dense. Go and read another Pushkin biography before you read this one, and then you may be able to get a little bit more out of it than I did from my first read. Next one is Paris 1919. This is a good book. So this is, obviously after World War One, the big powers getting together to make the peace treaty. And that's what this book is about, and how, the big three, the US, France and Britain, the leaders get blamed for a lot of, what went into the peace treaty, and eventually the peace treaty led to World War II, didn't it? It also it reflects on, the big three always get blamed, but hang on, there's blame all over the place, everywhere, and that's what this book reflects on. It's a really solid book. If you're interested in your post-war history and in one of the massive big wars of, the past 150 years, whatever it's been, Paris 1919, it's an excellent book. East West Street. is a good, I think it won in 2017, 2019, something like that. So this is looking at the basically international trials and international law and how the terms of genocide and, and humanitarian crisis came about. And after what happened in World War II, this is a deeply personable book. It's deep, and sometimes it pulls your heart out, but it's really good kind of history of just those terms and international law. Really interesting book. You should pick it up if you're interested in it. Next one is Mao's Great Famine. Another good book. This is looking at when Chairman Mao decided to just starve 40 odd million people in the late 50s and the early 60s, just to progress and get better than Britain, to be a bigger exporter than Britain. So we did whole new agricultural policies that just led to absolute catastrophe. Even though Mao didn't affect Mao was still eating like a pig. But a lot of the Chinese really badly suffered during these years, and this is a really, really fascinating look at that. Just those, I think it just lasted 4 years or 5, I can't remember. It's a good look at those years, and then the eventual let's stop this before we kill everyone, right? Interesting book. You should read it. Next one is The Suspicions of Mr. Witcher, Murder at Roadhouse Hill. Probably the only other one. I didn't gel with this at all. So this is looking at a murder in Kent and of a boy, and it kind of follows the detective around the murder because it's an unsolved murder, but the presumption is maybe something to do with the family and being the heir to X, Y, and Z. But was it the butler? Is it the family? Was it the neighbour? Is it the gardener? It's one of those kind of books, and but it's the narrative is around the detective at the time, and his conclusions were absolutely shouted down by everybody. But I just didn't gel with it at all, and I can't pinpoint why I didn't like it. Maybe it's that again. It's the assumption thing again and again and again with this one, and yeah, I just didn't blend with it at all. Sometimes it gets you, sometimes it don't. And the Suspicions of Mr. Witcher just didn't work for me. Next one is 1599. This was the winner of winners. So this is look at Shakespeare's life in that particular year. So this one, I say winner of winners because they did a 25-year edition of the Baillie Gifford. So it looked at all the 25 years worth of winners, and this one. There's something else needed. Again, it's the assumptions, I think, because not much is known about Shakespeare. But I really did like the look of the plays and all that, because this is really how Shakespeare became Shakespeare in this year of 1599. To talk about Hamlet and all that. So I did like the analysis around the plays and the poems at the time. But again, it's looking at what's going on during this time that I'm playing it to Shakespeare, and I just wanted something else. Maybe we can't get anything else. Maybe that is the best we can hope for. The writing is on par. It's really great, but again, that assumption thing doesn't gel with me. And the last one, the Leviathan, is going to go up in the good section. The Leviathan is the author's. On my phone, about what? The Leviathan is the author of Obsessed. I can't speak anymore. The author of Obsessed with Moby Dick, and then basically this is a look at whales and whale life and whale ecology. It's looking at the whale harpooning, the oil industry. It's basically chronicling what's known about whales. What's known about whales, what's not known about whales, and how they were persecuted and all that. Good book if you're interested in your nature writing. So that's it, folks. So out of the 20, I think that was 27 because I was counting them ahead. That's 4 books, what I think is the exception to all of them. But as you see, the majority of them is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 17 of them are recommendations from me. Oh, 17 plus 4, so that's 21 out of 27 books. I don't even know if I've done math right there. 4, 5, 6, yeah. So 21 out of 27 books. Strong recommend it. You should read them. And then the other 4 is with caveats, and then the other 2, especially Pushkin. Anyway, that's it. I will speak to you soon before my phone goes off. See you later, Booktube.